What's up, y'all? Welcome to another video. Guys, today I want to talk about a principle that honestly, once I understood that, it literally influenced everything that I am today and all of my decisions. The principle is zero options mentality. And I'll start with this. I have a few notes that I want to share with you guys. You're in this video, you follow me, you consume this content because you're tired. You're tired of the life you're living. You're tired of where you are right now. You want to change. You've had enough. You've had too much pain already. And you want to flip that switch. A lot of people that come to us, we're usually like the last option. They've tried everything, nothing has worked, and then we show up in their life. So one of the reason as well why you fail so many times is because you've had too many options. And you don't stick with it long enough. You don't commit to something long enough. You don't endure into the thing that you chose long enough. And I want to teach you something about the brain before we go into like the full the full topic of zero options mentality and what it is. Actually, honestly, I'll just start in the beginning. What actually zero options mentality is having zero options. And what does that does to your brain? This is the thing with your brain, guys, that you gotta understand. Your brain wants comfort. Your brain wants to survive. Your brain wants to be safe. So let's say you want to start a business or you want to choose a career, or maybe you're playing a sport and you have all these different options and things you can do. If you don't stick with it, as soon as shit gets hard, you're going to quit. Because your brain is going to be, hey guys, we're really uncomfortable. This sucks. Hey, but we have option B. Let's try that because honestly, I don't want to go through whatever pain we're experiencing right now and being uncomfortable. So then your brain goes to plan number B or option B, number B, option plan B or option C or D or all these different things. So you got to treat your brain in a way that you don't have options in your mind, that your mind can go to those things, and you just have to figure stuff out. Now, I learned this principle and I learned this principle with ultra marathons, and I wanna share the story with you guys because a lot of people don't get to actually experience momentum or success or win at anything because they jump from one thing to another, and if this doesn't work, they jump to the next one, and if that one doesn't work, they jump to the next one, and then you end up like never achieving anything in life because you're changing from job to job to career, from career to freaking major to major, and like you never end up like figure it out and see what could happen. So when I used to run ultra marathons, I mean, I'm actually getting back into it because I'm addicted to it, to like that experience. It's freaking cool and it's super hard, and I learned a lot about myself mentally as well. So anyway, when I was doing ultra marathons, I would do like I recall this experience. I had a knee injury on my right knee. So I started this race by myself. It was a 50 miler, and no friends helping me out. It was just me and somebody that I was running with. She was doing a 50K, so we're gonna do it together. But the first 10 miles, I started by myself. So I had a knee injury. Since mile one, I was already in pain. It was raining and snowing, plus I had this injury. Now, in my mind, I told myself before I started doing this race, I'm like, I am not quitting. I'm gonna do this thing regardless. I don't care if it takes me 20, 30 freaking hours. I'm finishing this thing. So that was my mentality. So whenever I started my 50 miler, I remember in mile 27, and I was with my friend, and I was broken. I was crying because I couldn't flex my leg. I was in so much pain. And she looked at me, I'm crying and stuff, and she looked at me and she's like, Ben, you want me to take you home? And I dry my tears. And I'm like, Gina, I'm finishing this damn race because I ain't quitting. And then I had to like finish like 18 miles by myself. And every time pain would come, there's usually three voices. You got your body that's talking to you. Hey guys, the knee hurts, we're in pain. Then you have your mind that wants to be safe and survive because that's the role of the brain. So then your mind is telling you, hey Ben, like look, we're in pain. This sucks. It's raining. We're cold. Like we're suffering. Like just quit. But I had to make a decision, and because I already put my mind to it, I would tell myself, hey, I ain't quitting. We're gonna figure this thing out. Because I told myself I'm not gonna have plan B. I didn't tell anybody. So I'm like, we're going to figure it out. So I didn't have like a plan B that somebody would come pick me up or something like that. So then my brain would be like, oh crap, all right, this dude ain't quitting. So we got to figure it out. And then what it does, your brain expands and start figuring out ways to survive and to push through and to overcome. And then you actually end up doing the thing you want to do. And then my body, like, it was crazy how sometimes my body would just numb the pain because he was like, this guy ain't quitting, so might as well just keep moving. And dude, there's a lot of things when it comes to zero options mentality. I hear a lot of people are like, oh, but zero options mentality is dangerous. You gotta have option B, D, C. What if it doesn't work? What if this, blah, 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 and all these different bullshit that I want to be honest with you guys because you're here listening to me right now because you know you're different. You're not better than anybody. But you know there's something inside of you that is begging you to come out. He's begging you to be great. He's begging you to choose something different than what most of your friends or your family or people that you know are doing. And if you wanna achieve something great in your life, you can't have an option B or an option C or F or whatever all the other options you guys have. Because in real life, it's, first of all, it's competition out there. So if you're competing with somebody that just has one thing in their minds, let's say you're an athlete, or let's say you're an artist or whatever the hell you guys want to do. They have one thing in their mind and you compete against one dude or that one girl. And you have, okay, I'm going to be an artist or an athlete, but if this doesn't work out, I'm going to go to school, and that doesn't work out, I'm going to, all these different things. This dude or girl is just thinking about one thing. Do you think long-term you can beat them? Hell no, you're going to get your ass kicked. Because when shit hits the fence and when you start struggling and opposition comes and setbacks, you're going to go to option D or C or whatever. And this dude or girl that just has one option is going to keep moving forward and figure it out and overcoming because it doesn't have anything else. When people ask me about this, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm a pretty competitive dude. You know why? Because I don't have another option. I really don't. I moved to the States with one thing in my mind. I'm going to do something great. And then once I chose what I wanted to do, I found my passion. I found what I love to do. And I figured I created a roadmap to achieve that. I eliminated everything else. Everything else. Because I realized that I'm playing the long-term game. Have you guys ever met anybody that has been doing something for so long and learn and improve their craft in whatever they were doing that didn't get to the place that they wanted to be? I haven't. I haven't. So it's the same thing with you guys. It's competition out there. If you actually want to, you have a dream, you have a goal, you have whatever you want to do, just stick with it. Stick with it. And I can promise you that if you do it long enough and you're actually good at it, you can get wherever you want to go in life. It's not going to be in 3 weeks. You're not going to change in a day and a half. You're not going to get there in like a month and everything's going to be sunshines and rainbows and everything. Life's supposed to be hard. Living an unrealistic, unlikely, unreasonable life is supposed to be hard. If not, everybody else would be doing that. But you're here because you're different. You're not like everybody else. You can feel that you were destined for more because that's how I feel. And every person that we helped and we come in contact with 20 and everything, that's how they feel. They just need a little bit of a spark. Somebody who can just believe in them and guide them and see something that maybe they don't see in themselves at the time. But it comes down to zero options mentality because what that does to you, it puts your back against the freaking wall and then you have all these things coming to you. And guess what? What's the only option you have? To fight like a dog and to get out of there. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got to choose your heart because if you don't do that and you have like option B, C, D, you're never going to do anything in life. Maybe short term, you might be able to like figure it out, but long term, you're going to lose because you have too many things you're trying to do and you're not going to end up doing anything. So long term is going to be hard. This zero options mentality in the beginning, short term is going to be extremely hard, but long term is going to pay off. Long term, you're going to see the fruits. Long term, you're going to see the results. So everything comes down to you want to experience pain now and the reward later, or you want to have the reward now and experience pain later. Like, what do you guys want? If you ask me, I'm down to be uncomfortable and to experience pain and all these different things and sacrifice whatever the hell I got to do to get the results and the rewards and the fruits and the things that I want long term. I don't care. Completely fine. But guys, you gotta understand that it comes down to zero options mentality when you have to fight like a dog, dude. And again, if you don't have that mentality, I'll be honest with you, you're not gonna win. Do you want to win or you want to lose? Because if you're here listening to me right now, the world needs winners, guys. The world needs winners. Winners. I don't know if I said it right. Winners. People that are winning. People that are showing somebody else and everybody else what's capable in their lives. Showing what's possible. We need more people like that. And this is the other thing when it comes to zero options mentality. Like, you guys know my story. If you've come to this video and everything, I was a pussy before. I was super soft mentally. I would quit on everything, 100%. So what I realized is that, okay, I have this vision of my life. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish. This is the people I want to help. This is my purpose, all these different things. This is the type of man I want to become. That's honestly pretty high standard. It's pretty unrealistic, pretty unreasonable, but I'm going to stick with it because I believe I can do it. And second, I realized that there's not a lot of people doing that. So I got to build myself into a freaking weapon that can just push through and endure and resist. I'm not a smart dude. I'm pretty retarded, to be honest. I got kicked out of school, guys. Like 0.97 GPA. Failed math 1050. Not one, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. I'm not a special kid. And that's why I got this buffalo and bison, because it represents, I'm going to stick with it. And I don't care what's in front of me, I'm going to endure. And that's the other part. I talked about competition in the beginning, because if you're competing with somebody that just has one option and you have like 5, 6 different whatever things you guys want to do, you're going to get your ass kicked. The second part is you got to build yourself into a freaking weapon. How do you do that? You got to understand that your mind is like a computer. You can program this. The only issue is that you've lived for 30, 20, 25 years, whatever you guys age is, with certain beliefs, patterns, habits, system, limiting beliefs, and values, and all these different things for a long time. And you got to reprogram your way in a harsh way. You got to reprogram your brain, in a harsh way. And that's something that I did. I recognize I don't like this Ben. This Ben sucks. He's not fulfilled. He's not confident. It's really soft mentally, suicidal. This is my vision. This is what God showed me. This is where I want to go. How the hell do I get there? Well, while I was learning more about myself, my true identity, I realized, and I got to know more about the true Ben, and I realized that this dude was a freaking weapon. So I became this dude. I started developing skills. Skills is something that it's not something that you catch and you have it for the rest of your life. It's something that you attain and you gotta earn every single day. Confidence is earned every single day. Discipline is earned every single day. Endurance is earned every single day. Grit is earned every single day. Resilience is earned every single day. Perseverance is earned every single day. Faith, you get to choose every single day if you want to have faith or not. Those are traits that you're not born with it. Whenever you see somebody that has those things, they're not born with it. I wasn't born with it. Are there people that are more talented than others and maybe they're more inclined to achieve certain things or certain talents and stuff? 100%, but you still have to develop them. Those are traits and skills that anybody can have. Those are skills that you guys can have. So if you can build yourself into a freaking weapon mentally and spiritually, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing. That's why I did a lot of crazy stuff, and I still do, physically and mentally, so I can toughen up my freaking mind. Because I realize this is my vision, I'm gonna stick with it, I ain't quitting, and therefore I gotta build myself into a freaking weapon that won't quit. And what do I have to do in order to not quit and to become that weapon? I gotta do things that are gonna tempt me to quit, and I get to choose not to quit. Does that make sense? If you want to have more faith, how do you develop more faith? You got to do things that require more faith. If you want to develop discipline, guess what? You have to do things that require discipline. If you want to be more hard and tough mentally, what do you have to do? You got to do things that require for you to be tough and hard mentally. And usually do that by doing really hard things physically, by chasing your dreams, by doing things that most people won't do. Does that make sense? If you want to become more resilient, guess what? You gotta do things that require you to be resilient. Same thing with patience. If you want to become more patient, do things that require patience. That's how you build the skill. And that's something that you can have. You guys can have everybody, anybody. But I can guarantee you that this mentality is the right thing to do. Again, if you want to be third place, if you want to be average and like everybody else, don't have the mentality because you're going to get killed. But if you want to win, if you feel like God created you to be more than what you are right now, more than what you see around you, your friends, your family, society, and everything. If you feel like there's something inside of you that's different, you need to have zero options freaking mentality. Because when you are against the wall, you get creative. When you're against the wall, you freaking have to fight like a dog and you're not going to quit because you cannot go to anything else. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's a tough spot to be. I've struggled a lot there because there's times I want to quit. But then because I've put myself in a situation that I literally do not have anything else going on, it's a scary place to be. But I can tell you and I can promise you that it's completely worth it. And if you watch my last video of working with your relationship with God, having God in your life and chasing something and building something unreasonable and unrealistic, it's so worth it, dude. Because He's going to be with you every step of the way. And I know that because I've seen it in my life. I've seen it. And this is something I learned a couple of years ago. Do you guys want to know where miracles happen? Where God works? Where He works? In which area? Miracles happen when it's unreasonable, when it's unrealistic, when it's unlikely to happen. That's where God works. So maybe you're not seeing God's hands, and maybe just because first of all you're not looking, second of all because maybe you're just playing everything safe, and everything that you do doesn't actually require faith. And I want to invite you to have faith in others in your life, financially, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and in your relationships, and in your jobs, and in your goals, and whatever you guys do, so you can ask for God's help, and you guys can work together, because that's where miracles happen, in the unlikely, unreasonable, unrealistic things. So hopefully this video helped for you guys. I'm trying to keep it very short, like under 20, but I think this is something that we have to address. If you actually want to make something out of yourself, you cannot go to plan B, plan C, or plan D. People that think that way, they don't win. They end up quitting, because when things get hard, your mind is going to go there. Oh, there's another option. Oh, I can do this, or I can go to let's do another major. Oh, I'll do this. Don't get me wrong, you can change the plan, but once you're fixed in your mindset that this is part of your purpose and this is something that God wants you to do, and you felt it and you've seen it, and you've seen it in people and stuff, stick with it. Stick with it. And I know you can get there. And if you can apply the principles that I taught here, I mean, I've done it in my life, and we've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people to do the same thing. So anyway, hopefully that works with you guys. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Have urgency, and see you guys later.